load. All right, well, welcome everybody. My favorite people are here. That's all that matters. Just kidding. No, not kidding. Anywho, so today I'm just going to go over about what to say when you get a buyer lead. You can, finagle and use with sellers too when you talk to them, but today specifically we're talking about buyers. So let me share my screen. Do that. Let's go over here into Canva. Present mode. All right. So here are some steps. Am I at the back? Hold on, let me go to the front. That would probably help. All right. So here's my little playbook on how to approach a buyer lead. Now it's going to be different, say if it's coming in through street text or a Facebook, because you're going to approach them different. Like on Facebook street text, if you're doing a downsizing, you're going to probably start with, I'm calling because you clicked on my Facebook post about downsizing your home. So that's a whole different. This is more of like Google PPC type leads that come in, or just random leads that come to your website, things like that. So when you start, you want to have your mindset right. You want your tonality to be right. And if you want, you can do a sales journal. I don't journal that much. That's not my thing. I hate writing things down. So yeah, you want to be the best question asker and not the teller. So your goal is to listen. All right. So when your lead comes in, you're going to start off. Hey, this is Carrie from the home search site. I just noticed you were looking at some homes in whatever area, Grand Blanc, Michigan. Just curious, are you looking to make a move within the next few months, or are you just browsing? I love that opening line simply because if you say, hey, this is Carrie from Genesee County Homes, they're like, what the hell is that? They don't know your website. They don't know what they're clicking on. They're just clicking everywhere to look at pictures. So I found I got more engagement by saying from the home search site, because at least you're saying it's a home search site. You were just on it. I found a lot more success with that. So typically customer just browsing. This is another one that I love. Perfect. That's exactly what my site is for. While I have you, what's prompting you to browse? You always want to ask questions. And of course, you can say perfect, awesome, great. Make it sound like you. I say perfect a lot, so I use that one. And then if they open up, you want to get to the why. That's not going to change. We're always going to want to know the why. So customer, I'm just looking at this point, get to the why. Totally understand. So I can make sure we're looking in the right directions. How many bedrooms are you looking for? So start to answer or ask those questions. And then let me see. So you let the customer respond about how many beds. So you're like, great. 3 beds, perfect. Why is that important to you? Again, you want to know the why. Customer responds. Your response to theirs is, tell me more about your current situation. You want to get them to open up and talk to you. That is the whole thing. You don't want to be the one doing the talking. You want them to be the one talking. So when the customer responds, then you follow up with, so that would mean, so what would that mean to you to have that extra room? Let them tell you why. Oh, I need that 4th bedroom. We plan on having a baby. I need that 5th bedroom for an office. You get to know their why. And so you want to build a great rapport. So you want to go 3 whys deep for every what. So your question, when you ask them the what question, when they answer, you're going to go 3 whys deep on that. So example, realtor, I noticed you're looking in Grand Blanc. Why are you looking to move there? You want to get their points. So the customer will respond, and then you want to build on their pain or pleasure, whichever matches their situation. So example, better schools, awesome. You can dig deeper into that. pain and pleasure points on that, whichever is their situation, and you build from there. So the realtor responds with, why is that important to you? Again, you want to do your 3 deeps why. So what that means is when they say schools are important, awesome. Why is that important to you? Why is that specific school district, is it close to family? Is it important because you have more help there? Just ask the 3 deeps why. And then once the why is established in that specific area, you go and find out the 5 W's: the who, where, what, when, and why. Let me move everything back. So once you have their why and enough information, you go for the close. So realtor, this is what you say to them. The next step in the process is super simple. Let's set up a quick 15-minute in-person meeting. This way, well, you can call it your win. You can call it whatever strategy you want. But this way we can show you our win strategy and bring you a list of handpicked homes that align with everything that you guys talked about. And then you're going to ask them, what works better for you, weekend or weekdays? You're going to wait for them to respond. If they're like weekend, great. Saturday or Sunday. You continue with the A-B choices until the appointment is set. They're always going to try to backpedal and get out of it. That's where your skills come in and you keep pushing them. So if they say no to the close, you got to keep going. So you're like, let me ask you this. If I find you a home that would fit everything you wanted in Grand Blanc, Michigan for the right price, and had you put what they're looking for in there and then describe their motivation, would you consider moving sooner? And of course, they're going to say yes. You want to paint that picture for them because they always want to rush you off the phone. That's their goal, rush you off the phone. But you got to be strong enough to keep them on there, keep engaging, asking the questions. So if they say yes, you say great. So does Saturday or Sunday work best? They will let you know one of the days, none of the days. Either way, it's good. You continue with the A-B questions until you set the appointment. So again, you ask for the appointment. Once it's tied down, if you have your Calendly, if you're in Follow-Up Boss, Lofty, whatever you do, however you send out the appointment confirmations, send them the text, send them the email to confirm that appointment. And always ask them too, if anything changes before the appointment, please let me know. I use Calendly, so it sends out 2 text reminders. So that way, if they decide they have to reschedule, they're given that option as well. And so for the conversation type funnel, some questions that you can ask. Just curious, what did you decide at this time to make the move? What brings you to the area? What activities are you most interested in? Do you have friends and family there? Do you work from home? How long have you been doing it? And when they tell you all these things, you kind of respond with interesting, tell me more, I'm curious, can you elaborate? Things like that, because again, you want to keep them talking. That is the big goal, is to keep them talking, you listening. So then we come to the when. If everything was perfect for you, when do you want to be situated in your new home? So that's again getting the time frame of what they're trying to do. Maybe like I have a client, they just found out that she's pregnant. So I'm like, well, do you want to be in your new home before or after the baby's born? And of course they were like, before. I'm like, all right, well, we better start looking at properties this weekend, because I explained to them, once your offer is accepted, here it's going to take about 45 days to close from start to finish. So their pain point obviously is they're on a time crunch because baby's coming. And then you ask, of course, do you need to sell before you buy? Questions like that. Ask, if I found the perfect, I don't like perfect home opportunity. If I found the perfect home for you tomorrow, would you jump on it? That's going to find their motivation. So typically they're like, yeah, if you found it, I'm there. Okay, and then the what and the wheres. So again, questions, these are questions you want to ask. What neighborhoods are your favorite? They tell you. Why are they your favorite? You want to find out the why. What's drawing them to that, whether it's family, whether it's the parks, the areas around it. You find out the why. Ask, how did you find out about that neighborhood? What do you like most about the neighborhood? You just want to dig really, really deep when you're calling these people because you don't want them to hang up on you. And the more you keep them talking, the longer they're going to stay on the phone, the more rapport you're going to build with them, and the more likely they're just going to stick with you to find their home. Other questions you can ask, are there any other neighborhoods that may be of interest to you? Again, we're asking these questions to build rapport and to build out their property search. So like in Lofty, I'll set it up for them. If they come in looking at one area, I kind of build out their search within a few miles of that. But I like to find out specifically from them, hey, what other areas are you interested in? Because maybe the ones I put in are the wrong ones. So I will delete those and add the ones they tell me that they're more interested in. And then you want to find out what price range fits your needs. So instead of just being really blunt and say, hey, what's your max price point? Kind of rephrase it and, hey, what price point fits your needs? And you can ask them, oh, are you paying cash or are you taking out a mortgage? Instead of just being like, are you pre-approved? You know, a little softer on the words. This, I don't really do this one, painting the perfect picture. I don't like it. Don't have time for that. I don't really care to do that. So try it if you want. I don't care to do it. And then obviously, what kind of floor plan, ranch, 2-story condo, is a basement a necessity? Is it a deal breaker? 3-car garage, is that a deal breaker? You know, how many bedrooms? No less than 3. How many bathrooms? We want no less than 2. And the lot size, do you have to have acreage? Is that important to you? Why is that important to you? And then once you have all the information about the 5 W's and specifically how their why, their motivation, you go for the close. To recap, we have our 10 little conversation things here. So you want to start with the prep. You want to have your mindset right. You don't want to overthink it like, oh, I don't want to make this call. Go on with positive, happy, good energy because they're going to be able to hear it when you're on the phone with them. Keep your opening line simple. Hey, this is Carrie from the home search site. Just reaching out to you. Is like Grand Blanc the only area you're looking in? Are you looking to move in the next 1 to 3 months? Keep it simple. And you want to do your 3 whys deep for every what. I don't always go 3 whys deep, not gonna lie. Sometimes I only go 1, sometimes I only go 2, because if they start going off on a whole nother tangent, then you got to switch your focus and go for the 3 whys deep on why they just did that. Then number 4, the best way to be interesting is to be interested. So you want to come off as you're very, very interested in what they have to say. Because again, people like to talk. If you're talking, they don't want to be on the phone with you anymore. And closing is an attitude. It's a confidence and a skill. So build it, work on it. When you get the no's, look at that in a different lens. A no is not a bad thing. Just redirect. It's not a bad thing at all. And then this one, your income is proportionate to the questions you ask. If you're not asking the right questions, they're getting off the phone with you and you probably just lost them. If you ask them the right questions, keep them on the phone, build that rapport, well, they're going to stick with you and you're going to build your income. Essentially, we all want to build our income. And ask better questions to get better results. Again, you can create a sales journal. You can just jog down all the questions that you like, tailor it to how you want to ask them, and just keep those by you until you have everything down packed, until you fully know the questions you're going to ask them. And to increase your pay, increase your role play. You have to role play, whether it's just out loud, by yourself sometimes, if you're not saying these, asking these questions, they're not going to come off as natural, as normal. They're going to tell you're reading. So role play, role play. And I know EXP has role play. I know they do it in the mornings. And if not, put together a group in role play. And again, find their true pain or pleasure points. And typically their first why is always a lie because they want to get you off the phone. So again, you want to stay on the phone with them and dig deeper into their whys. And then, so you only have really one shot when you get them on the phone. Be your best. Do everything you can to help them out. Be creative. And just try to be the best you can be for them on the phone. So that is just a quick little run through on how I approach the buyers when they call. So that was kind of quick, but what questions do you have? And I can give you guys the PDF slides to this if you want to reread everything or just take some questions from here and there. So Melissa says yes. Perfect. So does anyone have any questions for me about this or thoughts or anything? I know, Herb, let's go.
Okay. So question for you. So
Yes.
I know in the beginning you said, hey, for website leads or leads that visit your website and things like that. But what do you do differently for street text leads, like an internet generated lead? How do you open that conversation?
Yep. So street text lead, depending on which ad you're running, like I said, if you're doing a downsizer ad, be like, hey, Herb, thanks for, I just noticed you registered on my website. You were looking at my downsizer post on Facebook. I just wanted to follow up. Are you looking to downsize in the next 1 to 3 months?
Okay.
No, I'm just browsing. Perfect. That's exactly what my website is for. But while I have you, what prompted you to even start looking to downsize?
I was just scrolling Facebook. It looked kind of cool, that picture of that house.
It is a cool house. That house is fantastic. If you were to downsize, tell me a little bit about what that would look like for you.
Well, the kids moved out, so it's probably time for me to, we don't need this big of a house, and maybe cut the expenses a bit.
Perfect. I love it. I totally get that. So if I could find you a house that's smaller, you don't need all the space, you don't need the 6 acres that you're on, you don't need the 15-foot pool anymore. If I could find you a house that's, let's say, 1,200 square feet, ranch, smaller yard, less maintenance, would you jump on that today, or would you just let it just bypass you?
Well, I don't know. We're just kind of thinking about it right now.
Perfect. I love that. Tell me what areas you might be interested in.
I don't need the hustle and bustle, and I could pretty much live anywhere. My kids are off in college and all that kind of stuff. So, I just want something that's kind of calm and cool to relax.
Perfect. So you probably don't want to live next to a park, I'm guessing. What
No,
I
probably
can do, right? What I can do is I will send you over some properties for you to check out. No pressure, just look at them, tell me what you think of them. And if you want me to add different areas, let me know. I'll throw those areas in and we can put together a plan on what's going to be the perfect home for you whenever you do decide you want to move. How does that sound?
That sounds cool. Great.
Perfect. Perfect. So, do you prefer weekends or weekdays? What works best for you?
For what? Weekends or
For
weekdays?
Yep, because I want to come out and I want to show you these properties. I love to get to know people and I just want to show you some of these properties.
Oh, I'm just trying to get an idea right now.
Totally get it. So just keep role playing off of that.
Right. Okay. Great.
Yes. Any other questions? We got a
No,
whole 10 minutes.
let's
Oh,
go see it. What? Go see some houses. Some people say yes.
You broke up, Herb.
I
Lose.
said, taking the assumption that they want to go take a look at some houses.
Yep, you're still breaking up. We just heard
Oh,
looking at house. You're in a crappy area. I think he's still trying to talk. Okay, well, while we wait for Herb to get back in focus with us, oh, he left us. Any other questions? Anything at all?
That was great. What if you hate making
Hey,
calls?
Carrie.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. So what if you hate making calls?
Well, do you hate paychecks?
There are people out there that actually make the calls for you, right?
There are. And if you have to train them, you probably shouldn't hire them. They should know how to do that. But if they need a little help, give them my little script. That will help them.
Awesome.
Yes. I'm not a big fan of making calls, but every time a new lead comes in, I call them immediately because it is lead to speed. Usually when they come in, they're internet leads. They tend to work with the first agent that calls them. And they put their information in about 6 other sites. So 6 other agents are going to call them. Every time I call immediately, like within seconds, they're always impressed. They're like, I cannot believe you called me this quickly. My response is the same thing. I'm that awesome. Yeah, and they're never
Yeah.
mad that I called them so quickly. No one has ever been mad that I called them that quickly. They're more impressed and shocked that I called that quickly.
Well, and they remember what they clicked on, because
Right.
if you wait 1 or 2 days later, they don't remember what they did. They were
Shoot,
probably drunk clicking.
Right. You wait 10, 15 minutes later and they're already on to something else. They're out mowing the lawn now.
Mowing the lawn.
Like my thing, what's always worked the best for me is the speed to lead. That's always worked best for me. What other questions?
Absolutely.
The first part, are these leads that you're getting from like your listing leads or something else?
So the leads that I'm doing the script on, they are Google PPC leads. So they're coming straight off of Google. They clicked on one of my ads. So that's why when I call them and I'm like, oh, this is Carrie from the home search site. They know they were just on a website. They know they were just looking at properties. I don't like to say I don't like to say my team name. I don't like to say my website name because they don't know what that is. They didn't look. The only thing they're going to recognize is if you say Zillow or realtor.com. They're going to recognize that. But if they didn't come from there, and if you're not paying for that, I wouldn't say, oh, this is Carrie from Zillow, just to stay out of the legal matters. But when I did pay for realtor.com leads, I would say, oh, hey, this is Carrie. Realtor.com reached out to me to let me know that you were looking at property in the Grand Blanc area. Is that correct? So I would approach that differently. And they knew they were on realtor.com. So they always talk to me.
And your conversion rate for those have been pretty high?
So, yep. So I only judge from a year point. So from January 1st to December 31st, that's when I go in and look at my Google PPCs. So last year, I want to say I did about 8 Google PPC closings, which is very, very good. I made my money back 10 times over. That's why I continue to do the Google PPCs. I was doing really well with realtor.com, but they doubled their price per month. And I was like, I'm not doing that good to justify paying so much more. So I had to let them go.
I've been looking at the PPC, but doesn't it depend on how much competition, like your price set point and all that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah, if you're gonna do Google PPCs, I wouldn't go in with like a $300 monthly ad spend. If you could, I wouldn't do any less probably than about 700 to 1,000. But again, though, you could go 4 months, 6 months with nothing but bad leads, and then the last 2 months close 15 of them. And then you just made all your money back plus some. And I have a company that I'm working with that I do mine through. If you want the info, just message me and I'll send you their info. I used to do it directly through Lofty, but they're terrible, like terrible. They don't truly manage your ads. They charge you $210 to manage your ads, but they truly don't.
Yeah, I'll double that one. And yes, they, I think maybe they spend half the money on the ad budget and pocket the rest. But yeah.
Yeah, they set it up for you. I think this is what they do. I'm not there. I don't know, but my feel is they just set it up and let it go. I don't think they manage it. Because every area that I asked them about, I got the same amount of lead range. Didn't matter. It didn't matter what area, didn't matter anything. It's the exact same thing. I'm like, that's not really how that works.
I think it's great for people that don't have things like street text or know how to use Facebook ads or anything like that. So that's their option.
I looked at Wendy. I thought she almost fell because I saw her hand go up. I'm like, did she just die? Perfect. Great. Good thing we're recording. Any other questions?
Yeah, my husband put all this stuff, all these tires in the back of my trailer, like so my thing won't go down so I could get lock boxes.
Oh man, you gotta love them.
Yeah.
And yeah, who's ever interested in my lead source through the Google PPCs, just message me on Messenger in Facebook. That way, because the chat will go away when I close everything out.
You
And then
you can get a copy of the chat when you go into your recordings in Zoom.
yeah, it's easier. Just message me.
Okay.
It's just easier to do that. And then when I put the recording up, I will put the PDF to my slides if that will be helpful for everybody too. I can do that. Yes. Any other questions? Are you guys doing anything that works easy, better for you that you like to talk about? Go ahead, Bonnie.
I'm sorry, every time I try to talk. I have a question. Carrie, I'm sorry I came on a little late. So can I find this on your Facebook page to review everything?
Yeah, yep. It's gonna
Okay,
be in the group. The recording will be in the group, the PDF, everything will be in the group.
Oh, okay, great. Because I've been looking forward to this all week. I appreciate it. Thank you
Yes,
so much. This is
absolutely.
gonna help my team out a lot. Thanks.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, any other questions before we head off and jump over to Herb's?
Yeah, Carrie, can I do a quick plug?
Absolutely. You don't ever have to ask, just do it.
All right. For all those interested on how to optimize your open house strategy and get 4 times the business on open houses by doing open houses, we're going to cover all the top strategies to be able to do that. Go to agentpowergroup.com. There's a click to join the Zoom at 9:15. See you in a few.
All right, guys, I will see you not next Thursday because I won't be here, but the following Thursday.
Thanks, Carrie. Take care.
Yes,
Carrie.
bye everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.